Good morning, and welcome to the Capital Breakfast Show. Thank you for joining us this morning. And as usual, we are bringing you infotainment at its peak. Now, today in Executive Suite, we are speaking CEO. Her name is Kirsten Jethro, and she is from 4seeds. Well, she's here to tell us all about herself. So without wasting any more time, help me welcome her. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning, Anna. Very well, and yourself?
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us today. And
welcome.
Yes, please do introduce yourself to our viewers. Who is Kirsten and what exactly is it that you do?
I am the managing director of a company called 4seeds Consulting, and it's a human capital development company. So we focus on individuals, teams, and companies.
Okay. And how did you get the idea for the business? I mean, it's not as usual that people just go into business. How did it begin with you?
I came from a corporate background, so I was in corporate for about 18 years. And I hit a stage where I had to choose between reaching my potential or being happy. So for me, it was one or the other. And I chose well-being and happiness.
Yes.
So that gave me the thought of thinking, must it be one or the other? Can't it be and or? Can't you achieve your potential in a company while being happy?
Yeah.
And that's the whole motto about 4seeds, is about achieving your potential while being happy at work.
And when did you start with 4seeds?
We started in March 2010, so we about 4 years old right now, so still young in SME terms.
Yes. And what would you say was the mission of 4seeds from the onset?
Oh, it's two totally different concepts. I mean, one can't even compare it. I think corporate prepares you well for it, so you pick up a lot of skills and competencies through corporate. But being an entrepreneur is something different. You literally run a lot of things by yourself. You don't have an IT division. You are
everything.
You are
yourself.
the creator, the developer, the designer, and everything.
Wow.
But that's exciting. I thought that was invigorating. I wouldn't change it.
Now, please do share with us the kinds of products and services that you offer as 4seeds.
As I said before, always to create well-being, so creating a balance for people. We spend 2/3 of our time at work, and I think while we're at work, we should really be happy and also achieve our potential, so it's the two together. And this whole human capital development is a new trend that's starting to develop over the last 20 years. And as normal, South Africa's always a little bit on the slow side to catch up. So it's starting to come here where companies are starting to really look at human capital. So how do I create well-being in the organization? How do I make my people really happy? Because at the end of the day, if your staff are happy, they're productive, they perform, they stay longer. There's a lot of wins for all parties involved. So that's the whole motto.
And how do you advertise your business?
Okay, we have 4 main products that we offer. The one is really about helping teams and companies to start this journey with bringing in capital development and well-being. So what is it? So we have a product called The Serious Business of Happiness at Work. And that's really where you start in assessing a team, getting an understanding of what their level of happiness is, what are the areas they need to work on, and then you roll out interventions on that. So that's the one. Then the other one is that we have a leadership development program that runs for about 9 months. And that's all about managers and leaders who've either started the journey of becoming leaders or have moved into a leadership role. And what often happens is that leaders have very good technical skills, so they've become an expert at something. They've gone up the corporate ladder, and now they have to manage people, and the game plan is different.
People skills.
And they don't have the people skills. So that ties in for us again. How do I motivate my team? How do I get the most out of them while also keeping them balanced and having them be happy at work? So that's a 9 months intervention for leaders. Then we have more for corporates, a culture and values program where we go in and we help companies really make their values and their culture come alive.
Wow.
Because it's common that companies have values, they pin them somewhere on the wall.
And they disappear.
And they disappear. And they're not lived out. Nobody's
True.
inspired by them. Nobody knows what they are.
Yes.
So we help companies come in and align them with their strategy, help them understand what the values are, and make them come alive so that everybody in the organization can live them. They can feel that energy of what the values are.
Lovely.
And then the last thing is we do a lot of one-on-one executive leadership coaching.
Okay.
So those are our key 4 products, which fits in with the name 4seeds.
What would you say is the goal, the main goal for 4seeds?
I think one of the key goals I'd love to achieve is for companies to really make human capital a strategic board agenda item, so that there's more to it than just keeping people happy. It's a very serious topic. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And I'd love for companies to really take it to that level, that it becomes a serious discussion. So it has as much weight in a board meeting than does the budget, the marketing, the sales, and all those kind of things. So that's one of them. The other one is I'd really love to have leaders become true leaders in South Africa, because I think through authenticity and becoming strong leaders, we can really make this rainbow nation one fantastic country, and I think we need the leaders for it.
Oh, lovely. And do you work just nationally, or is it international? And if it's only national, do you have plans to go international?
I think what makes it extremely unique is that the whole concept of 4seeds and the whole of happiness comes from the science of positive psychology. Now that's a new science that came about in the last 20-25 years, so it's fairly new, but it is a science. And the whole aim is to take people and make them flourish, and really take normal standard people who are quite averagely happy, but really make them become even happier.
Beautiful.
But our focus is to do that more in organizations, and then roll it out obviously to communities and societies, because it has a ripple-on effect. You start small and it has a bigger effect. And positive psychology, as I say, is a new principle in South Africa. It's been around in America and the USA for quite a while. So at the moment, I'm doing my master's degree in it.
Oh, beautiful.
And as far as I know, I'm the first South African to even start that journey. So that gives it a totally new spin for us.
Lovely. Oh, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that, actually.
And that's also where we start talking at a lot of conferences and that. So we start helping to educate people and communicate and that. So we're being the spark that the company and the countries can become aware of it.
Definitely. And what do you believe is so unique about 4seeds that any other business out there doesn't offer?
I think the key challenge is that it's a new concept, so there's a lot of education that has to come in.
So the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation has to happen. A lot of people take the whole concept of happiness at work as a very fluffy subject. They see it as a very fluffy subject, and they go, oh, really? How does that matter? But if you really look at it, and it's scientifically proven that if your people are not happy, they're not productive, and it does have an impact on performance, it does have an impact on bottom line.
True.
And that really does not give a company competitive edge. And at this point in time, margins are squeezed in most companies. So they have to find different ways of becoming profitable and sustaining it. So I think it's breaking that boundary of changing the mindset of people and educating them.
All right. Oh, beautiful. And what exactly did make you, I mean, there are so many different fields and to choose from, but what made you choose this type of business?
I think you really have to be very passionate about people and well-being and trying to create wellness in a country or society. So I think that's something. Because it's a new whole industry that opens, there's a lot of learning that happens. So I think education is key, understanding the whole industry and the concept.
True.
So I think education is key, the passion. If you're going into coaching, I would really recommend you go for an accreditation so that you have a professional level and not just become a coach for the weekend or that kind of thing. So those are the things. I would really look at those key points.
Lovely. So this is quite usual. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure you come across challenges. Do you mind sharing some of those with us and how exactly you overcame them?
I think the key challenge is that it's a new concept, so there's a lot of education that has to come in.
So the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation has to happen. A lot of people take the whole concept of happiness at work as a very fluffy subject. They see it as a very fluffy subject, and they go, oh, really? How does that matter? But if you really look at it, and it's scientifically proven that if your people are not happy, they're not productive, and it does have an impact on performance, it does have an impact on bottom line.
True.
And that really does not give a company competitive edge. And at this point in time, margins are squeezed in most companies. So they have to find different ways of becoming profitable and sustaining it. So I think it's breaking that boundary of changing the mindset of people and educating them.
Okay. So this is all we have time for. But before you leave, can you please share some words of advice to upcoming entrepreneurs, people who are inspired to go this journey but don't know where to start?
I think you really have to be very passionate about people and well-being and trying to create wellness in a country or society. So I think that's something. Because it's a new whole industry that opens, there's a lot of learning that happens. So I think education is key, understanding the whole industry and the concept.
True.
So I think education is key, the passion. If you're going into coaching, I would really recommend you go for an accreditation so that you have a professional level and not just become a coach for the weekend or that kind of thing. So those are the things. I would really look at those key points.
True. All right, thank you so much. For our viewers, if they would like to get a hold of you, can you please share your contact details with them?
I think the best thing for viewers to get hold of us is to go to our website, which is www.4seeds.co.za, and peruse around there what we've got to offer, look at the blogs that we've written, and our contact details are on there, and then drop us a mail. All our details are on there. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and just start connecting with us.
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to have you in the future to celebrate more from 4seeds.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you for having me.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And that's it from me and Kirsten from 4seeds. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, I hope you're inspired by that. And remember her advice, go ahead and do it, chase your dreams, and make sure you do it good. From me to you, all the love.